Hey everybody, Steven here playing Subnautica Below Zero. Today covering the latest updates to the game. They're finally rolling out more of the experimental builds here. They were on lockdown, which they're checking the code for game-breaking bugs or anything like that before they release the next stable build. And usually when they start doing updates again to the experimental build, it usually means we're a couple days out. So my guess is, maybe tomorrow or early next week that we'll see the next EA release, the next stable build. But for today, we're just going to check out some of the stuff that they've added so far. There are a ton of bug fixes that we're not going to cover in this one here. But the first thing I want to do is go over to the Delta Island here, formerly the Rocket Island, and look at the outside of it because they've cleaned that up. PDA has new sayings now. Oh, the sweet scent of dirty bean water. That voice, I know a lot of people are like, I hate the voice. It's temporary. Don't worry about that. And you can tell, a couple have already actually popped in prior to me recording, but they have new lines in. So hopefully they get to record that here pretty soon. But they've cleaned up the edges around here. We'll look at that. But first, they've changed the docking station here. So let's kind of jump down. And I like the new look. I like the two-sided, because before this had the one side and then this. They still have some Z fighting issues that you can see right here that need to be fixed. But with this, we got some benches going, filtered water, got some coffee. And you can use this if you have a thermos. You can actually use this to keep yourself warm as you kind of ascend to the Delta base up there. We have a microscope, got these guys, still have the PDA down there. But I like this look better than the other one. Looks like I am blocked though. Uh-oh, there's a glitch. So we have that. Let's go back into free cam mode. Looking at the outside here. Now I remember there being the opening, and this is really where you exit the mining site. I remember that one. And that one's different. But this one right here, this opening, I want to say there was a second one. I don't remember there being a third, but that could just be in my head. It does look different to me right in front here. We have the three openings. They're all joining to the same tunnel. But like I said, that's how you actually exit the mining site. Looking to the edge, it looks like it's a steeper drop off. So it looks like they've kind of dug out some of the area around this to make it more propped up. Like we see with certain islands. I don't think all islands are like that. Like some come up to that smooth, but we just have this drop off that I like. And then if we go through, because this is like a separate portion of it, right? That's not connected. I think this is new here. But smoothing out this kind of interior area here. Now with this too, we're seeing like polish to the rocks. They've fixed some of the loading issues. They're still there, but it does seem like in general, we see more things in an area versus before, where most of that stuff in the background may be gone. So it seems like they are improving some of the loading issues with this, texture qualities, all those things. Is this another massive one? I hadn't seen that before. I do like what they've done to the purple vent biomes with all the additions here. But I didn't know this was here. It's not as big as the one underneath, but that's cool. Definitely way bigger. Like I said, really right here is where you're going to notice that. We'll float around the other side here in a second. The blending of this and more thermal spires out here's kind of what it seems like. At this point, though, some of these subtleties, I'm not going to be able to remember everything. So I know I did a video over here with the rock puncher, and I remember this one right here, and some of this. It does seem like they've cleaned it up a little bit, but that could just be in my head. I do like the blending of the biome now. Looks really good. Let's bring that water volume back off. So zoom really quick. Boom. All right, so going back to, they've made this more like a shelf. look or stairs, right? It's not completely smooth. We'll see some here, right? And this leads into the big tree spire biome. So this kind of looks the same, and then we wrap around here. This looks different to me. It's looking a little bit more textured. Like I said, the unevenness of the surface area, the ground, more, like I said, stairs or like that shelf kind of look to it, which I like. It just, this whole area is completely different for those that remember, I mean, a year ago what this looked like, right? It's coming along. So not so kind of plain, right? We're seeing everything added in. And I like the area here where the mining site is at, because same thing, if for those that remember, I mean, this used to just be a hole that went straight down. And now, I mean, it seems like they've even drawn this back and made it a little bit higher now. But just all the little nooks and crannies that you can kind of go explore, areas where we have the magma exposed, and you could put, if you wanted to, the thermal plants. Like, it looks really good over here. Coming up here, this seems polished as well. Same thing, not just smooth areas. It is uneven. It looks more realistic for what we would potentially see. And that floats all the way around. Now, after that, cool thing to go look at, we're going to go to Delta Base here, and with this, we're going to find, I believe it's Fred's mustache kit. I don't know what you do with it. We'll ghost in here. And there it is. Shaving kit. That looks like a legit shaving kit too. Look at that. Comment about shaving kit, Fred's shaving kit. And then I think you're just going to collect all this stuff and like leave it at your base. It also makes me wonder, is like, I don't know, maybe a portion of this like collecting clues, which would be cool. I think that'd be actually pretty cool if you had to get some of this stuff. And I'll exit the game here in a little bit, and we'll look at the achievements, and I want to kind of finish this video with talking about those. Other people have covered it. I just didn't want to just cover that. So we do have that, and I'll talk about the implications of that with the story as well. Let's zoom across here. Going over to the glacial basin, and specifically the Frollo Cave. This seems a little bit tweaked to me, this iceberg here. I think we've had this entry point over here for a while, but not very long, and I don't think I've covered that, but that's there. I did cover the closing off of the kind of secondary entry point, or maybe like an exit from the Arctic Spire biome. They've closed that off, and subsequently with that, they don't need the area over here that they had, so they removed that, but they did add in, at least over here, kind of that ice wall with this, and then more textured rocks and things like that. So it's coming along. It's looking really good. I'm hoping to see kind of these bottom portions like this on the underneath portion of the icebergs, coming to the other ones where a lot of times they're just kind of plain. So hopefully soon, but I know that's just detail and polish work, and they're probably waiting to see, is that where they want this stuff. All right, let's zoom all the way over here though. So Frollo Cave, just a ton of tweaks and polishing. So some of this stuff is going to be hard to notice. Tweaks to the rocks is a big one. And this is all coming from the Subnautica Changes Twitter account. Sometimes I'll write something and I'll look for it, and it's like, I mean, maybe I can see it, maybe not. So general polishing to the rocks, fixing lighting issues and things like that. Now, the one thing I do notice, and hopefully it's apparent to everybody else too, is when you're looking at the Frozen Leviathan here, the transparency of the center versus the outside edge of the ice here. So they've made that center area more transparent, and they've diminished that around the edges. So I think it looks better. I like that look. I don't know, like a dramatic flair to it. So we have that. They mentioned like a hole for like lighting on this, and then I went to look for it and I cannot find it. I mean, we have the old one here that I'm hoping they bring back, but outside of that, not seeing anything. I think the other thing in here too is pop in. Once you're in here, we're not seeing anything pop in. Just cleaned up, right? Really working on performance issues, bugs, things like that. They did finally fix, and I'm going to head there right now, in Parvan's security bunker here. They fixed the Z fighting issue. So when you go in here, you don't have that pop in that we saw at the entry point at the Delta Island there, right? The little I don't even know what to call that, like a hub, maybe. I mean, it looks like a docking station. I know we can say a docking station. You could pull a sea truck in there, you could sit it there, but like that center point of it looks like a little hub to do research really quick. Oh, what do we got here? Deep dive. Okay, that's where that's at. Still waiting for them to actually update this and just change out the they do anything? No. Change out the fridge. Now, after that, zoom across the map. I haven't noticed anything new over here yet, but probably going to do a deep dive. Maybe there's some subtle things I missed with my pass earlier before the video. But coming over to the vent garden, they said they added in a sound for this in the brine wing. They've updated the sound. I don't notice a difference personally, but they did say that was there. But we got the spiral plant in here, and this is where you're going to need to come for getting these for synthetic fibers. Spiral plant. Take your knife and cut it up. You get 2 out of it, 2 chunks. That was a new one. So a new saying from the PDA, like I mentioned earlier. But then we have the spiral chunk, and then they actually have the icon for it right here too. All right, hold on. And I like the shaving kit icon. That looks cool. So we have that. Like I said, this is what you'll actually use to make the synthetic fibers. Let's bring that fog on. I do like that this moves on the inside too. The animation of this is really cool. You can see it shift up, 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 and then it blows whatever out of the top. There it went. All right, let's go back into free cam mode. And so my first thought was like, oh, an improvement to the sound here, and then I checked the small ones, and I couldn't find any difference in either. Brine Wing, the sounds are the same to me, but maybe it's a subtlety, so I don't know. And then after that, I want to finish with the deep lily pad biome here. So with this, maybe it's just me, but these seem improved. These spores here. I know that they glow at a distance, but when you get up close, it does seem like it's improved. Right? So that seems improved, but maybe one of those things is just in my head. And then there's a fix for, or improvement for, whatever these things are blowing out. But I can't tell a difference with this. Maybe it's part of the look with the colors that are coming out of it. They've reduced the metallic look of certain items down here. I think that goes back to the spore there, but that's been tweaked. I'm just going to float through this. I still really like this, and this is that shelf look, right? Or that staircase look. I'm just excited to bring the prawn suit down here, jump all the way down, and then the challenge of actually getting out of here, right? This one almost seems like blacked out. But yes, less metallic, as you can see on the texture here. All right, so that's going to be it for the in-game stuff. I'm going to exit the game. Let's look at the achievements. All right, so this is the spoiler section here. So if you've seen a little bit of this, just turn it off if you don't want spoilers for the story here. You do have to obviously achieve these to unlock them, unless you just look at the global achievements here. So we have 13 in total. So drop in the ocean, locate your drop pod, right? Beyond that, trucking, my assumption is building a sea truck, right? Xenobiology, I mean, obviously to do with the research with most likely the frozen Leviathan. Another survivor, finding Marg, that initial encounter. Like riding a bike is most likely going to be the hover bike. Jukebox hero, if not building the jukebox, it's going to be getting all the discs, right? The songs. Dress for the weather is going to be finding the cold suit and building that. Spy pangolin, that one's pretty self-explanatory. Necessary repairs. My assumption with that, if I had to guess, something to do potentially with the radio tower. But I'm not 100% sure because you have pirate radio, and I really think that's the one where you're going to do that. Finding the cure, obviously to deal with the Kara. Out of mind, getting Alan out of your head. Into the unknown. That's the big one people are harping on right now with videos, which is, that sounds like we're going to Alan's planet. And that's going to be my guess, is that's really the ending here. And I've seen comments and I've heard other people, man, if you guys keep doing this and watching videos and all these other things, doesn't it ruin it for you? And I was like, I mean, being an intricate part of the process, because we're letting the devs know, hey, there are these bugs, this is what we like, this is what we don't like, is shaping the game, but there's still surprises along the way. And it's not really so much about the ending, right? It's and as corny as it may sound, it's about the journey to get there. So the process of playing the game while it's in development, seeing all the changes, seeing the story take multiple iterations. There's also a bunch of stuff I think by the time it finally gets done, we still will not have seen everything. And how many games do people play where you buy it, you play a huge chunk of it, but it's so massive that you only end up getting like 30, 40% done, right? So with this, it does feel like, one, we're a part of the process. We get to see it shape and evolve over time. And then we get a deeper knowledge about the story and then a deeper appreciation with that. So I am hoping that that's what that kind of leads itself to. I know that the team is moving on to a different project after this. Braxis said they're going to take a break from this, but there's still more stories to be had with this world here. So I think we'll be back, but I do think it kind of ends on that high note of going, and Alan's going to take Sam with him to figure out what happened to his people, right? And that would be so cool to jump to another planet, or, I mean, to go back to his home world, whatever it may be. So that's going to be it for this video, everybody. If you guys like the video, hit the like button for me. Definitely like hearing from you guys in the comment section, by the way. So your theories on it, all these different things, let me know in the comment section. But I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Check back soon for more videos.